Very good morning, guys. Now, those of you that are here from the shorts, I was actually stood over here before, which is why I was a little bit brighter. And I might stand here for, a little while. I'm just having a fag, drinking my coffee. If any kids are watching this, don't smoke or you'll end up looking like me by the time you're 35, and trust me, you don't want that. So, I'm not really bothered at the moment about demonetisation. As soon as that happens, I'll probably stop smoking on my vids. Not doing it to be cool, I'm just an addict, and it's 5:30 in the morning. I come out here about 5:15 to make that little short, because what we're going to do is watch the sunrise together. I'm going to tell you my plans, a little bit about who I am, where I've come from, what I do, and what I'm planning going forward. But for these plans to work, I need you guys. So let's start with the channel. This is going to be a more long form videos because I need a public view time to get monetization. So the 3,000 public watch hours or whatever it is. Now, the thing that's irritating me at the moment is I've been looking up how much you should be doing on YouTube and what kind of results you should be getting. Now, there's quite a lot of them that are saying in your first month, anywhere from 50 to 200 views is, quite average. That's all right for a growing channel. I'm on 8,000 views. We're 10 days in, guys. That's not for me, that's you guys. That's you guys loving the content that I'm putting up. Now, to be fair, most of that is the carpet cleaning stuff, which is absolutely fine. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it, but that's not the real reason for the channel. To be fair, the real reason now for the channel is not even the real reason for the channel. I've grown older and become a little bit more altruistic. And altruistic is just a fancy word of saying I want everybody to have a happy life. I want good for everybody. Now, I was walking around Manchester where I used to live, obviously, by the voice. Scatter party. I'm a mank. And I'm not a mank. Sorry, ma'am. I'm a Salfordian. My mother always used to say to me growing up, "You're not Mancunian, you're Salfordian. Salford's a city in its own right." And she's right. Salford's always going to have a place in my heart. It's an amazing place. As long as you don't mind being stabbed from time to time, it's an amazing place. So, I moved up to Scotland about 3 or 4 years ago. Coming on to 4 years. And I've loved it. Absolutely loved it. Scotland's a fantastic place. So this channel actually started, I wanted to help the homeless. Because in Manchester, you can't swing a brick without hitting a tramp on the street. Now, when I say a tramp on the street, a lot of people are going to go, "Oh, you can't say that anymore." You're not going to enjoy that. If you're of the age where, you don't want to use certain words for offence, you're probably not going to get on with me. Because I just say shit. And I just say shit because language is beautiful. Language is fantastic. And it should be utilised in every way forward. And here's a little tip for the kids nowadays that are identifying as cats and stuff like that is, if you get offended by everything, it's your problem, guys. Because I don't want to offend you guys, I don't. But it's not me offending you, it's you being offended. It's the same in school as when the kids that do all the work, you normally find the people that distract the other children in school, the distractors, I don't see them as a problem. Because what they're doing is they're quite intelligent, they're finishing the work, they're bored with the academic stuff. So they start messing about. And then they distract other people and they get shouted at. What I think should happen is you should be able to control your own emotions. You should be able to control yourself and not get distracted. Now, distractions are brilliant. I get distracted by stuff, But if you're getting distracted, it's the same as being offended. That's a you problem, not a me problem. It may be a me problem on YouTube because I need you all to, get onto it. But I think that there's more people out there with thick skin that would rather be called names. So, when I first moved up to Scotland, here's a little tidbit for you. I used to sit next to a guy called Callum at Eshaw. One of the worst places I've ever worked, by the way. Eshaw, Cadogan Street. If anyone is looking to apply for Eshaw, Cadogan Street, don't do it. It's a nightmare. black coffee because I'm a sociopath. And Callum once said to me, if you ever get called a cunt in Scotland, don't be offended. Don't get upset. It's a term of endearment. And I understand, because it's the same down our end. But then he said to me, let me explain it like this. Fucking windproof lighter, eh? That's not very cool, is it? Hey! Right, so he said to me, if you get called a cunt, don't be offended. Be offended if you get called a bit of a cunt. Because you go into a pub and you're like, oh, this is my mate Johnny's a cunt. Hey. The problem is, oh, this is John. He's a bit of a cunt. The bit of a makes the difference. So if you're ever up in Scotland, you're being called a bit of a cunt, you're probably a cunt. Anyway, I might go dark because the light I was getting at the start, which is why I stood up, is off my toilet, but it's on a sensor. So unless the missus gets up for a wee, which she won't because it's nearly 5:45 in the morning, you're out of luck. But we're going to watch the sunrise anyway. So we've been out here since it was really, really dark. And I'm intentionally taking it slow here today with this video, because we're going to enjoy a bit of time. We're going to watch a sunrise, and I need the public watch hours. So if you're still with us at this point, thank you very much. I'll actually get into what we were supposed to be getting into. So basically, I moved up to Scotland because of my mother-in-law, which is not something that I say I do for someone very often. Now, I didn't move up for my mother-in-law, but she met a Scottish fella, she moved up, we come up for a birthday and absolutely loved it. So here we are, 10 doors down, and now them two are not speaking, the missus and the mother-in-law. They have that times, on and off, excuse me, and that's the light going off. But hopefully it won't be too long before the sun comes up. Just trying to see if there's a better angle for light, and there's not, so you'll have to bear with us, guys. But once the sun's up, you'll see my mug again. Oh, here we go again with the light on. And then we'll get into it, promise you. So, crying out loud, one sec, guys. Enjoy this guy. Right, let's run in rapid and grab a light. So I'm not really worried about this. I'm going to lower my tone for one quick minute. Or we just go in and get a light. Or we'll just fill mine up here. No. I've got no fingernails. I need to go and get a light. Right, guys, so this is before work. It's the only time I've really got to sit down with you guys and have a chat. So I started in Manchester. I used to manage offices, and I was on a ridiculous wage in me. Anywhere from 20, 25. We were balling, we were rolling in it. It was really good. But my missus fell epileptic. So I had to stand down from what I was doing, and I ended up working night shifts. And again, when I was working night shift, it wasn't that bad. I was at a place called Vita, top place to work. Not like the nightmare of Esher on Cadogan Street. But Vita phone were brilliant. Loved it there. But then we ended up moving up to Scotland. So again, I had to change. So roughly, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 4.5 grand a month I was on when we were managing offices. And then I went down to about 15.78 an hour. Something like that when I was working nights, but it had to be done because health is more important than money, and I love the missus, and she comes first at the end of the day before any career options. So that's why I'm sat here at, I think it's about 10 past 6, whatever time it is in the morning, watching the sunrise with you guys. And the reason for the long form videos, I need the public watch hours to get this up. So I thought I'd just give you a little bit about my background, and honestly, this is a little bit what I'm like. I'm 10 minutes in and I've told nothing apart from where I'm from and a little bit about who I am, and a story about, you know, me and Callum having a chat when he was trying to teach me about how wonderful the Scottish are. So what are my plans going forward? I'm currently carpet cleaning and I'm not on a lot. I work for a Indian businessman brother, and he's a wonderful guy. He is a wonderful guy. He's so kind and he's helped me as much as he can. But I'm watching this guy, I'm collecting this guy's cash, and I'm taking the pittance of my wage out of what he's getting every day. We're now coming on to Thursday and he's got, I don't know, 1,500 quid sat there 3 days, and I'm working like a dog, and I've probably made so far this month, what, 700-800 quid. It's a nightmare, absolute nightmare, and I'm sick of making people rich. So the plan is get myself a little machine, start doing a couple of odd jobs on the sides on my day off. Day off one day, which will mean I'm working 7 days, but that 7th day will just be going into the kitter. But in order to do that, I need you guys to subscribe. Now this is the problem I've got 10,000 viewers so far, 10,000 views in 10 days. Now I've done a bit of research and it's showing that on average you should be getting around 50 to 200 views in your first month. We've got 8,000 of you guys watching these videos. All I need is 3,000 subscribers, then I can do all that ad revenue crap. Now, I don't really want to do the ad revenue crap, so what I'm going to do in between, I'm going to buy a spot and stain remover off my boss. I'm going to sell it to you guys. Now, he'll do it me for pretty much cost price. That's how nice of a guy he is. Now, I'm not going to leave this guy in the lurch when I get a machine, which is why I said I'm going to work 1 day a week. I'm going to train somebody else up for him so that he can continue and do what he wants to do. I might even train a couple of guys up for him. But the end result is I want to be doing the carpet cleaning and showing that content to you guys daily so that I can get to a place where I don't have to do 10-hour days for fuck all, you know. So that's kind of my plan going forward. I don't want this to be too long because I still need to go and have a brew and relax and so on and so forth before I actually start work. So if you've come here from the short video that I've done on the YouTube shorts, thank you very much, but I need the long form videos so that I can just qualify for the YouTube partnership program. The faster I do that, you know, the less I'll have to worry about everything else and it'll come in. So I want to buy a little machine and get going for myself, and with that will come more content, and in the end, at the end of all of it, I do want to start the altruism that we were speaking about earlier. I want to start helping people, properly helping people. Now, I watched Mr. Beast's video, as everyone has in the time, and there's an odd thing about Mr. Beast. He's giving away this money, and I think he's missed a niche. And if you're watching this, I don't even know your real name, mate, but if you're watching this, I've not watched all your videos, don't get me wrong, but I've never seen you do like a Grand Designs revisits. Like, oh, I give this Nesbitt 10 grand 16 months ago. What's he doing with his life now? To see if he's making things better for people. And hence the name of the channel itself is Making Things Better. So I fancied a little walk around the garden there. I realised it was probably irritating for a few of you guys, but sorry. I'm a wanderer. I walk around. Also a bit mental. You'll see that as it comes. But no, and I'd love to see that from him. It'd be like, imagine if he's given someone 10 grand and they started on a skag or something. I don't think he'd feel good about that. And I know that he tries to select people that are kind-hearted and good. And he's like, oh, do you want a grand now? Or do you want to double it and give it someone else? And then they double it and give it someone else, and that shows that they're a good human. So he'll give them 10 grand. But I'd love to know if he's ruined any lives, or if people have gone, do you know what, Mr. Beast, give me that 10 grand. So for me, for instance, I bought a new machine, I started my own business, and this is where I am now. Thank you so much, Mr. Beast. But I've never really seen that. And not to say that he's not a good guy. Of course he's a good guy. He's giving away money left, right and centre, and he just started as a kid counting numbers. And this is another reason for the long form videos. Now, my missus watches shite on here all the time. Shite like little Filipino woman squashing fucking peppers and putting them into a pot and making a pepper soup. And she'll watch it for 45 minutes. Now, obviously that's content that people want to watch because there's like 39,000 views in the first 45 minutes they put it up. And then, you know, they've got 80 million views 6 months down the line. And I'm thinking, what is going on with society where they're just sitting and watching an old woman squash peppers and then watching a little dog run around the garden and a view of a cow here. And what worries me about them videos is those people don't look like they know what to do on YouTube. They don't know what the internet is. They're probably still running on 56k dial-up, which tells me that there's somebody making a lot of money from those videos and quite possibly taking advantage of these people squashing peppers for a living. And I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that at all. So the original idea for the content was trying to make things better. Grabbing a load of homeless people, learning about the stories, because I used to speak to a lot of homeless down in Manchester for quite a selfish reason. I was a bit stupid in my youth. I used to go out drinking. I've got something called knobheaditis when I drink, which is when I drink, I'm an absolute knobhead. So I've not drank in a long time. But my thought was, if I talk to the homeless people, and I'm nice to homeless people, if I'm ever having my head kicked in the middle of Manchester town because I've been being allowed, then they can at least help, or you get away from him, he's all right, him, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where my love of the homeless kind of started. And the original description that none of you probably seen was, are homeless people really apply on society, or can they be remoulded back in society and make a community? Do they actually want to work hard, or are they happy begging? Now, I'm not talking about these shady Romanians that are sat there. Now, I'm not having a pop at Romanians. My bloodline is Roman Gypsy from Germany, so blonde hair, blue eyes, but we'd have still been slaughtered if we'd have been there around World War II because we were Gyppos. But no, we left a long time before that, and that's my mum's side. My dad's side, all English, oi oi. But yeah, that's the thing, is I'm not having a pop at Romanians, but you know as well as I do that there are these shady guys that just sit there begging for cash, they're claiming benefit on the side, and they're also working, you know, and that's not right. So I'm not talking about them all, I'm talking about genuine homeless people, the people that have been through a rough patch in their lives. So are they really hard working, or do they all need to be euthanized? You know what I mean? So that's where I wanted to go with the channel. I wanted to make a community out of the homeless, because the homeless aren't just homeless. The builders, the chefs, the mothers, the fathers, the sons, the daughters, they are people. So I thought, if I can get a community together and talk to these guys, and you guys would love the content, and, you know, just build it from there. That was my aim at first, which is why it was called Making Things Better. And that was my description. Are homeless people something that can be utilised and brought back into society to, you know, make their lives better, and also make my life better by getting rich off YouTube, to give back to that community as well. So if there was builders, like I was speaking to a little guy and he's like, oh yeah, I used to be a builder, I was cracking, I can do foundations, I do this, do that. All right, brilliant. Well, let's get some land. Let's ask these guys on YouTube, you know, if there's some millionaire with loads of land, or you even own a farm and you think, do you know, that's a pretty good project, that I'll give you my land that you can build on, and, you know, we can see if these guys really are redeemable back into society. That's what I was aiming for. However, it turns out that Scotland are really good with the homeless, and there's about 6 of them. Honestly, I can walk down Buchanan Street and I'll see there is one woman with a pram, and that gets me, because I'm thinking there's no way that the Scottish government at the moment are letting a woman sleep on the street with a baby in a pram. So I think that's a blag. But I don't know, I'm too scared to go over and have a look, I'll be honest. Because if I see a baby there, I'm going to break down like a little girl. Oh, by the way, for the young viewers, a girl is one of them old-timey fucking things, you know, with vaginas and that like have babies and stuff. Oh, that's what we grew up knowing them as. So if I ever use the term girl, that's what I mean. But no, on a serious note, that's where it started. But then I realised that there's no fucking homeless here. Not like Manchester. Manchester's riddled. So if we do get large enough, I might go back down to Manchester and start that project, which would be fantastic. That's really what I want to do. Even when I was young, I used to drive past, like, you know, refineries and things and see all the pollution going into the air, which I later found out in school was mostly just water vapours. Lovely sunrise there. Enjoy, guys. And yeah, it's mostly water vapours. So I used to drive past them. I'd be like that to my dad. Dad, I'm going to stop all of that one day. I had a real fire in my belly to help people, even from a young age. And not that it's died off, but life got on top of me. And, you know, I wasn't in a position to actually help anybody. So if you can get me in that position and I buy the carpet cleaning machine, I end up earning millions or doing YouTube for full time, that is where the channel will end back up. It'll go full circle, which would be nice. But for now, I'm just concentrating on me and the missus and you guys. And I really am involved. I am involved. It's been 21 minutes now, and I've not even finished my fag because I've been whittering on, talking about different shite. It's never taken me 20 minutes to finish a fag, ever in my life. So no, I changed the channel around, and it was going to be 7 months ago, again when I started, it was going to be, right, okay, so this is going to be me getting out of debt and losing weight and so on and so forth. The irony is I procrastinated that much that I'd already lost the weight. So that's why I've got one of the little shorts. I'll stick the link in the description of my weight loss journey, which is me just being fat as fuck and now being less fat as fuck. Just a couple of pictures to show the difference. So that idea went out the window as well. And then I used to get home and show the missus all the carpet cleaning stuff. I was enthralled by it. I'm like, oh, Bab, look at this. Look how dirty this one is. Look at this. Look at this. And she'd be like, you're such a sad bastard. Like, what are you doing? Why is your phone full of this? And mainly, the phone was full of this because it's just something that I do to cover my own back. I do it so that if I ever get a complaint, I'll be like, well, no, listen here, you Nesbit, I've got a video here of the final result, the before and after. So I'll take your complaint off before I fucking destroy you all over the internet, because I've got all the proof here with me. So that's why I used to take the videos. But then my missus had shown me the guy that cleans rugs. And she'd call me a sadder one, and she'd be like, oh, look at this rug, oh, it's really dirty, look at this. And she'd be watching it, and I'd look at the video, and it was like 40 million views. And I'm like, who the fuck is watching a video for, you know, 40 million views for some Nesbit cleaning a rug? So I thought, right, I'm going to do it. And I finally took the plunge. I was speaking to a mate of mine, Toner, and he's like, just get it done. But he's like, just keep it short. Everyone's attention span is battered. I don't think it is. Because you're watching 45-minute videos of people peeling fucking peppers. So I know that there's the audience out there. But it's just catching you guys. So I've been making the shorter videos where it's like dun, 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 and just running around and all like words on the screen and all that stuff. And I don't really like that stuff. But you guys do. So hopefully you like the long form stuff as well. I'm just going to have a quick check of the time. 6:30, right. So my guy's going to be here in about an hour. Not that this is going to be an hour long, but I'm going to have to sit here and edit this and I don't know, try and get on the ball. But that's a little bit about where I started. We've watched the sunrise a little bit. It's still quite cloudy in Scotland this morning. But no, that's up at 5 this morning because I posted a video last night, a little short, and that was on, I think, 750 views by the time I woke up, and it just got me giddy. It got me giddy, it gave me a bit of fire, so I thought, oh, fuck it, I'm going to get up and do a long form video and see if we can catch some subscribers. So I have got the shorts begging for subscribers. Now, I fucking hate that bell stuff. I really do. Oh, press the bell, do this, do that, oh. It's fucking irritating, but I know now why they do it. Is because, you know, that's where the money comes from. So guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could just go and subscribe as well. I'm not going to keep saying that on all the videos. I'm going to have to do 1 or 2 until I can get to monetization. I also don't want to be doing the adverts, because I know there's nothing more frustrating than, there used to be a little trick where you could click on the little eye at the bottom left of the screen and then just skip it, or say it was offensive, the advert, or you've seen the advert 10 billion times. And honestly, I don't know how YouTube are earning revenue off these ads, because I've never looked at a YouTube advert and gone, oh my God, I fucking need one of them, because it's all shite, like the fucking Temu scams, and it's mind-boggling to me how they're making money off that. But if I can make money off that, I will do. And then, if I get to a point where I don't need to anymore, I'm just going to recommend products that I think are fantastic. So the first product that I'm going to recommend, that I'm not getting paid for, they don't know I'm doing it, there's no link, there's no anything, just go and Google it, for fuck's sake. You don't have to come and click on my link. You've got the common sense to hear me say something, go, I'll go and look that up. So it's called the Theragun, and it is really good. So when I started carpet cleaning, my body was fucked. I was about 16 stone, even though I was telling the missus, no, I'm probably only about 12 stone or something. But I wasn't. I weighed myself and I was 16 stone. I was massive. And the weight loss thing started when 4 fingers I had. Like that. My belly covered them 4 fingers. And I was like, nah, mate, that needs to end. That needs to stop. So I stopped Eshaw and I went to carpet cleaning. I rang Neil one day and I was like, right, okay, so I have actually got a job lined up. I was going to be cleaning like railway platforms and stuff like that. Because I just needed something. I needed to get out of Eshaw. I'll circle back to Eshaw, excuse me, shortly, because that was fucking bad. So yeah, I rang Neil and I said to him straight up, I'm like, right, mate, I only need a couple of days work. I said, I can help you out. I said, but I have got a potential start date for something. He's like, no, just come, see if you enjoy it. It's absolutely fine. So I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. So I went out with the guy, done a bit of carpet cleaning, and he was brilliant, and the carpet cleaning was really satisfying and enjoyable. So I stayed, and you know, a year or 2 down the line, and I'm still with him because he's a good guy. But now I see how much is there to be made. It's ridiculous. So I kind of want to start on my own. I'm sick of making money for people. You need to make money for yourself. And that's not to say that if you're in work and you love it, keep doing it. You know, business isn't for everybody. It's really stressful. I've done it before in my past. Like I say, I used to manage offices down in Manchester. It takes a lot of determination. You know, when you've got guys coming in and they've been binged out of their head all weekend and that, and they're ringing you on Monday like, I'm really poorly. Just like, listen, mate, I seen you with 6 birds and 5 gram on fucking Friday night. You're not poorly. You're hungover. Get to fucking work, man. And when your commission relies on people getting into work, and you've got an office of 24 rowdy Asian brothers, you know, coming in like, oh, that good is just giving me pure shit. Yeah, well, of course I am, mate, because I need you to earn me money. That's the only way I get it, is if you come in and smash the packs out. But no, amazing all the way through. So yeah, I just want to start business again for myself, and you guys are going to help me do it. And like I say, the only reason for me wittering on this morning this much is I need the view hours. So if you really could watch this 6 or 7 times just in the background, I don't know, just help us out, guys. That'd be great. Well, I was cycling back to Eshaw. Right, okay, so Eshaw, fucking hell, this was a place and a half. I've never seen a place like this. Now, it wasn't really Eshaw that was the problem, okay? It was a company called CXP Huntswood. Now, these were hiring the most toxic bastards I've ever met. I used to manage offices in Manchester, and still, these were the most toxic bastards I've ever met. I've met some twats in my life, but fuck me. There was someone there that took my interview for management. Now, I don't do buzzwords and manipulation like that. I find it wrong, okay? So if you are adept in manipulation, there's certain ways that you should and shouldn't do it. Now, I swore a long time ago not to manipulate, because I find a sense of evil in it. And for those of you that understand manipulation and are adept at it, hopefully you can understand what I mean by there's some evil in it. Now, it can be used for good, don't get me wrong, but in order to twist someone's opinion to your way of thinking for personal gain is not right. So when I was going for the interview, first of all, it's for team leader. A job that I can do fucking sitting down, taking a shit with blindfolded, sat on my head, right? Don't ever take a shit sat on your head. It comes down, it's not good. But no, I went for the interview and I could see this cunt just sat there listening for buzzwords. All she wanted me to say was, oh, I help people. So instead of saying that, I was giving examples of how I'd help people. One of the examples, there was a lad that I used to work with, Russ, Rochelle Mia, right? And he was a lad's lad. He was a bit of a lout, but he was a good lad and he had a lot of potential. And I remember him coming to me and he's like, oh, the sales and the director's on me back and this and that. And I'm like, mate, you've got so much potential. So I give him a few tips and I give him a bit of fire. I'm like, listen, give it 6 months, mate, and I will have you at the top of the office. Listen to me, do what I say, I'll have you at the top of the office. And lo and behold, by the end of the year, the director bought him a set of Dre Beats for Christmas. This was when Dre Beats were the dog's bollocks. They'd only just come out, and that was a company that I used to work for. They were sick at stuff like that. I remember in my first 4 months, because he hit the top of the office, the guy bought me a fucking PS4. Again, when PS4 was brand new out, and that's the console that everybody wanted. So I said to Russ, come on, pull your finger out, get in every day, stay late every night, get in every Saturday, get your packs back in, because, you know, Chungy is fucking useless at getting packs back in. And Kevin, if you're watching this, you were fucking useless at getting packs back in, bro. But that's part of the game. You need to do shit for yourself. And I told this to Russell. So by the time Christmas come round, he got a pair of Dre Beats and he was like, wow. Now, Russell actually owns his own building firm at the minute, and he's doing really well for himself. So well done, Russ, you've smashed it, bro. And that's the kind of thing, is I was just giving examples of how I'd helped people in the past, rather than saying, oh, I like to help people. And by the end of it, I actually asked, and this is a good interview technique as well for people that are on the ball with interviewing actual businessmen and businesswomen, is ask them, what is it that you get? What is it that you get when you go home? What makes you feel good about what you do at work? What is it that drives you to wake up in the morning and come into work? So at the end of the interview, that's what they'll ask you. Have you got any questions for me? And a lot of people say, oh, what's the salary and what are the hours and when are my breaks? When do we start? When do we get to go home? They're fucking shit questions. Don't ask shit like that. You know what the salary is. And if you don't know what the salary is, don't apply for the position. If someone's like, oh, between 10 and 30 grand or 50 grand OTE, nah, fucking tell me what the wage is. Tell me what I'm going to come out with, and then we'll talk commission. So don't ask those kind of questions. Ask that question. What is it that you get out of the business? And the answer that I got off this cunt was, oh, well, I just like to help people, don't I? I fucking nearly threw up. I thought, how the fuck are you? How have you shagged your way to the top, love? What a tragic experience. And then after that, I had a chat with my manager, and I've never walked out of work before without having everything all set in place. Like, if you're going to leave a job, always have something set up. And I've never done that before. And I turned around to the missus, I really do apologise, darling, but I need to walk. And she's like, what? I said, I've just been for the interview. I said, I'm not going to get the job. Definitely not. I know I'm not, straight away. And I said to her, I need to leave. And that was why I jumped in as well to the carpet cleaning. So that's what's happened. And it was tragic. And I knew from that moment, never again. So I had a chat with my manager before I left, because I don't like leaving people in the lurch, but they were massive, so it didn't really matter. It's just another number, another name on payroll. But I said to him, I'm like, yo, Scott, I'm going to leave, mate. And he's like, no, there'll be more opportunities. Please don't leave. It's absolutely fine, mate. You're doing so well. And I'm like, no, Scott, I've just had this interview. And we spoke about what we just spoke about there. And his reply to me was, do you know what, mate? I was going to go for the business development manager role myself, and I didn't do it because I knew she'd take the interview. And I'm like, Scott, bro, you've just tried to convince me to stay at a place where you won't even go for a promotion that you could fucking do standing on your head. You're fantastic, mate. And you're holding yourself back because you know this twat's going to take the interview. And I think the problem with her is she could see that people would do more than her, better than her, faster than her. And that put the fear of God. So she kept those people down. Whereas if she got some snotty, ratty, toxic little bastard, she'd promote that person because then she's got nothing to fear. I do the opposite. I used to interview people and say, come and take my job. Come and take my job, because if you take my job, then I'm going to rise up. But she didn't think like that. She thought, oh, if they take my job, I'll be out of a job and I'll just have to sit there frigging myself off all day. The fucking rats. And that's what I said to Scott. I'm like, mate, that is not a place to work. Get the fuck out of there. And I hope that he has. Or at least I hope that he's been promoted finally and someone else took the interview and he can make that place better. Make it better. But no, that was it. That's why I'm here. So guys, I'm going to have to go and make a brew and relax a bit more for the morning. Not that this has not been relaxing. It has. I've enjoyed it. It's fucking dithering, don't get me wrong, because I'm in the middle of Scotland. But that's my plans going forward. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry about the rant. And if any of you don't like swearing, fuck it. It's language. Language is beautiful. Enjoy language. Never get offended. And I don't know. Just keep on going, whatever you're doing. If you ever want to message me as well or leave any comments and we'll have a chat. Another part of the channel what I do as well is something called Let's Discuss. So I've got a playlist kind of sat there. And this might go into the Let's Discuss playlist, to be fair. But yeah, I just want to discuss some like society topics. One of the things is like the non-binary thing that I don't think that's real. I don't think it's a real thing. I think it's a bit of a psychological mindfuck just to put out to the masses so that we stop thinking properly, so that we stop thinking real things, and that we concentrate on, oh, 1 minute, am I a fucking doorknob? Am I a kitten? Am I a boy? Am I a girl? And you know, there's people that have been through that and have nothing but respect for what we used to call in our day as trannies. And they wouldn't be offended by it because they were trannies. Trans is to change. It's not a negative word. It's just to change. And they changed from male to female. Now, a lot in the village that, you know, I had to give a little peck on the cheek to get into the fucking AXM at 3 o'clock in the morning, or you'd go down to the Rembrandt and all the drag queens would be outside. They'd be like, oh, you're not gay. Says, I'm not gay, I can't get in. No, come here, you, and fuck, I'm getting in there tonight because it's a sick night out. We used to love the gay village. It was amazing. You know, top night, all the lads and the girls and the guys and girls would be out having a laugh in a place of love. And that's what I used to love about the community. And it's like that community doesn't exist anymore. It's gone so radical, but I don't think it has. And I think it's such a detriment to the people that I know and that I used to know that were genuine and like, no, I'm a guy, I've got a penis and that, I know I'm a man, but I'm so feminine. And that's fine. To be feminine is fine, or masculine is fine if you're a female. That's fine. But just remember, these are male and female, masculine and feminine traits that you have as biological males or females. It's not a problem. And if you want to go the whole hog and chop things off or add things on, then that's fine as well. But make sure you know who you actually are inside. If you're confused or unsure about your sexuality, your orientation, or your biology, or what you want to be, then it's not right for you. Only if you're certain, take the most drastic plunge. And I've known people that have, and have been incredibly happy for it. But again, I actually think it's fake. I don't think it's as prominent as they make out. But anyway, that's a different video altogether. And we'll do that in the Let's Discuss. And if you guys comment and you want to discuss about different things, like actual things in your own life or in my life, then yeah, we'll do it. I'll make little videos. I might even let everyone kind of video call me and we'll do a bit of a tete-a-tete, back and forth conversation. But yeah, I said I wasn't going to let this video get to an hour. I'm 40 minutes in, so right, loads of love. I'm going to go to work soon. Peace.